ってしまうって。
What's up, people? We are back with more of Eden. So I believe I ended before the final words were like, did you know this planet was coming to an end? So at the request of some people, they actually wanted to hear the voices, so I'm gonna put it in for a couple of minutes, see how that sort of plays out with me reading it out and that stuff, so you guys can experience it that way as well. So yeah, an end? I inquired as I faced the back of the girl loitering in front of me.
もうそれはずっと昔、君のおじいさん。ひいおじいさんが生まれた頃から分かっていたことなの。
For a long, long time now. It was something everyone knew since around the time grandfather, no, great-grandfather was born.
ひいおじいさん?
Great-grandfather? I cocked my head. I didn't even know my grandfather's face, let alone my great-grandfather's.
君が生まれるずっと前に、人々はこの星に終わりが近づいていることを知ったのよ。
Yes, people knew an end to this planet was drawing near long before you were born.
星が終わっちゃったらどうなるの?
What will happen once the planet ends?
人も動物も、花も木も、みんな死んでしまうわ。
The people, animals, flowers, trees, all of them will die.
じゃあ、僕も、姉さんも。
Does that mean we will as well? I didn't want that. Mom and Dad had already passed on. We were all alone. I wanted to live here with my sister forever. I didn't want to die.
怖がることはないわ。
There's nothing to be afraid of.
そう。みんな死んでしまうはずだった。でも、大丈夫。あなたは死なない。
Yes, everyone will die. But it's alright. You won't die.
でも、星が終わっちゃうんでしょ?
But isn't the planet ending?
あのね、君に一つ大事なことを教えてあげるわ。
Listen, I'm going to tell you something important.
とても大事なことを。
Something very, very important. She didn't turn around. She just kept looking far into the distance, but merely gazing at her back made me feel so safe.
人はね、運命に逆らうことができるの。たとえ罪を犯しても、逃げ出すことになっても、それでも生き抜くのが人間というものなのよ。
People can fight against fate. Humans are creatures which can keep on living even if they commit a crime or end up running away.
どんなことにでも終わりは必ずやってくる。だけど人はその終末を永劫の未来にまで先延ばしにできると私はそう信じてる。
It's sometimes hard to predict when the sentence is gonna end. Like, I try to follow the words sort of because having watched anime for like I used to watch it quite a lot, not as much as of late, but I recognize words here and there, and that's how I try to figure out where along the sentence we are, but it's kind of difficult. Anyway, an end will invariably come to everything, no matter what it is. However, I believe people are capable of delaying that conclusion for an eternity.
よくわからない。
I don't really get it.
そうね。君には少し難しかったかも。ごめんね。
That might have been a little hard for you. Sorry.
僕たちは生きられるんだよね。
We're going to live, right?
ええ。君は生きるわ。
You will live. She looked up at the night sky and pointed towards the conspicuous red star.
一つの世界の終わりは新しい世界の始まり。
One world's end is another world's beginning.
人々はみんな次の星を目指して旅立っていくのよ。
All mankind has set its eyes on the next planet and is beginning its journey.
姉さんも僕も別の星に行くの?
Will we go to another planet too?
私は
She paused briefly as the wind from the mountains swept over her. It was a silence that lasted for but a moment. No, Ne-sama. She began to walk slowly, the grass crunching beneath her feet.
姉さん
Sis, I want to see the end of this world.
ここで世界の終わりを見届けたいの。
Alright, so I'm gonna turn off the voices again from here on out and do the video the way I normally do, but it's just kind of to give you guys a sense of how it plays out with the voices. So yeah, after watching this video, feel free to just tell me which one you prefer. I mean, personally I prefer to just read everything out loud, but I kind of understand if you want to hear the voices as well, and I think I can make it work if I get used to it after a while. Like in the beginning it's just sort of awkward trying to figure out where I come in with the talking and stuff, but it's all up to you guys, so you guys can decide what you prefer. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the choice to you, but for the rest of this video I'm just gonna do it the way I always do. So yeah, let's continue. What a nostalgic dream. My heart was beating faster than I expected. I was surprised that such a wistful memory could affect me like this. I couldn't believe I remembered her. I had forgotten her face, but that gentle voice and the words she left with me still resonated in my heart. I still remember how I was always gazing up in awe at her from behind. I lifted myself from the bed and aimlessly stared at the still unfamiliar wall. It certainly seems like I'll survive if everything keeps going like this, sis. This planet would soon meet its end. It was a given, something everyone knew. It was predicted by scientists over 100 years ago, and mankind steadily made arrangements to escape this fated extinction. The Earth's excavation project. Or evacuation. That was the name of the Noah's Ark, which would save humanity. Mankind sought to construct giant spaceships for the sole purpose of taking everyone off the planet away from this dying Earth and to carve out an existence among the stars. When the plan was first drafted, politicians, the masses, they all saw it as nothing more than a fantasy. But humanity executed that exceedingly lengthy plan, and although there were hiccups along the way, the idea of escaping Earth steadily became a reality. At present, the majority of the human race had already left the planet and was sailing into the ocean of stars. Like my sister had once said, although the planet would end, the history of mankind would likely continue on. Even if not everyone wishes for it. I muttered and stood up. It may have been because of that dream, but it seemed I was sweating a little. Luckily, this private room had an attached bath and toilet. I had some time before I had to be ready. Alright, they were gonna throw me a party. Welcoming party. I guess I'll take a shower. Yeah. Oh, so you did get up. As expected, it was Warrant Officer Lavinia F. Asai who came to get me. Were you able to sleep well? I'm not picky as to where I sleep. However, I could have gotten a few more hours if you let me leave earlier. Ha 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 ha. Wait, we already went to the party? I thought they were gonna show the party, but apparently not. It was no laughing matter. Levi dragged me into the normally off-limits female quarters yesterday. 7 or 8 other female soldiers gathered into her tiny room and screwed around until late into the night. That kinda sounds interesting, you know? I would have loved to see that. Simply put, I'd never experienced anything more uncomfortable. Okay then, let's get down to business. I heard my mission was to defend. Are we to be sentries? No way, that's not a job for a warrant officer. We're going to buddy up. By that, you mean guarding Sion? Of course! What, you already knew? It was nothing to be surprised about. Guarding VIPs wasn't particularly unusual, even in GAT, or GAT. I have no experience acting as a guard to anyone as important as Sion, but it probably wouldn't be that different in practice. Then, shall we go? Our princess awaits. Pardon the intrusion. Levi opened the door and yelled in a booming voice. I followed after her and entered the room. Ah, good morning, Levi, Ryou. Morning, Miss Alicia. Nice and matey again today, huh? Nice and immaculate. What was with their greeting? Oh? Ryou, are you in a bad mood this morning? Not particularly. I shook my head gently. Then you must be sure to give a proper greeting. Promise your big sister that you'll do that from now on. Yeah. Good morning. Or not even good morning, just a regular morning. Of course, I'd usually give a normal greeting. I just wasn't sure how to deal with someone as unusual as Alicia. Yes, good morning. I didn't know what in the world she was so happy about, but Alicia was smiling sweetly. Will you be a guard for us from now on, Ryou? Looks like it. You're Sion's aide, correct? I am her exclusive maid. I see. Was it a particular request from Sion that she serve as something as antiquated as a maid? So, where's the lady of the house? Sion's work area and a bedroom are just beyond that door. I noticed there was another door aside from the entrance we came through. But you're not allowed to enter. Her expression suddenly dimmed. Entry into that room is expressly prohibited. I knew it. What? I'm sorry, but Major Inaba and I are the only ones who may enter her work area. Are you telling us to guard her without allowing us to check the room or even meet her? Sion does not like appearing before others. I think it is very unlikely she would come out on her own. I gave Levi a fleeting glance. She simply gave a small nod of approval as though she'd accepted it. I suppose I don't mind. If the person we're guarding is going to stay put, then it'll be easy on us as well. I really am sorry, Ryou. Sion has a bit of a selfish side. Alicia's cheerful expression returned quickly yet again as she gave us a small bow. By the way, I haven't met her yet either. That being the case, we just have to keep watch in front of this door. This certainly does sound like an easy job, just as you said. I have no reason to lie. To tell the truth, I was a bit irked that the person I was guarding wouldn't even introduce herself. But a soldier's job was to obey. By the way, we'll be working 3 shifts when guarding her. As a rule, each shift consists of 2 guards. Just 2? Why so few? I would hope for at least 5 people to deal with any unforeseeable situations. That would be another selfish request of hers. She said she didn't want any more guards than necessary. Well, that certainly is selfish. She's like a princess. She is a princess. Huh? In this place, she's the princess, and we're her royal guard, so to speak. She's a bit lacking in class, though. You could also call her our savior, but there is the matter of her appearance. So, princess is fitting, don't you think? I see. If it were Sion, then a little selfishness would naturally be permitted. The Earth Evacuation Project. She was none other than the mastermind behind the project which saved humanity from destruction. Wow. So she was the one behind it? All of it? Tick-tock as time passes by. As easy as the work was, it was also tedious. As long as Sion stayed secluded in her room, there was no need for us to move around. All I could do was bring a laptop and read the data on the building I had received yesterday. To make matters worse, my partner seemed quite sleepy, and had shown up to her shift exhausted. What? Got a problem or something? Belligerent to boot. Not really. There's just nothing to do. Are you done reading the data already? This place is pretty big. You probably can't get a good grasp of the layout just from those rough maps. No, I have the general idea. Are you sure? She stared at me blankly. I've had to storm so many buildings in training and combat that it's sickening. All that was left was to physically walk around and find any blind spots in security and confirm the escape routes. It would be best to obtain as much information as possible. Come to think of it, you used to be in the Special Forces, right? Forgetful people don't get promoted. I don't have any particular desire to work my way up the ladder, so I don't care. That's the motivation. That isn't very persuasive coming from someone who is a warrant officer at your age. It wasn't like I planned to get promoted, I just became a warrant officer before I knew it. I'll pretend I didn't notice the sarcasm. Aren't you the same age and rank as me? Levi wore an antagonistic smile. Come to think of it, what was this woman's backstory? She probably didn't go to a military academy. Did she work her way up from private like I did? Alternatively, she might have pursued a specialization at a technical school. At any rate, if she made it all the way to warrant officer. What are you brooding over? It's boring. There's nothing else to do but think. There was no point in thinking too much about her personal history, was there? It would be rude to delve into my coworker's past for no reason. At the very least, she had to be competent enough to have been assigned as Sion's guard. Are you really that bored? You're not? Just sitting around in a place like this? Not at all. Why? She's playing like solitaire in her head, I don't know. Because it's Sion. I could hear the enthusiasm in her voice. A tinge of red was visible in her cheek, and eyes glittered like those of a daydreaming little girl. Oh yeah, look at that face. That door is the only thing separating us from Sion. Isn't that kind of amazing? Well, it's certainly not ordinary. The name Sion was special to every human living in this era, not just Levi. About 100 years ago, an unfamiliar red star appeared in the sky, and around the same time, a solitary scientist announced that this planet would be destroyed by a massive, unavoidable disaster in 100 years. The end of the world. At first, everyone scoffed and treated it like an unfounded delusion, but before long, scientists around the world verified it to be truth. The horrible news came at a time when international relations were already tense from food and resource disputes. The added desperation from a world-ending disaster was enough to trigger a world war. World War III. Nobody knows who fired the first missile. The populace, thirsty for blood, had long since forgotten the details. Vengeance gave birth to more malice and kept the fires of the Bog War burning for a long, long time. When mankind awoke from its collective insanity, half of the global population was dead and buried. Mankind had almost annihilated itself ahead of schedule. That's so stupid. Like, I'm almost certain that sounds like something that would actually happen, you know, because of people just panicking. Oh my god, the world is gonna end, so let's kill each other before that actually happens. But that makes zero sense, right? I just don't understand it. But it's just like they get this short-sighted view, like, oh my god, we don't have enough food. They have food, kill them, take their food. At the end of the Great War, all of the countries of the world merged into the unified government, and one magnificent endeavor was launched, the Earth Evacuation Project. And the one who was created to be a guide for that plan was none other than the supreme Felix Sion. She's a genius among geniuses. I can't imagine actually being in a position where I have an opportunity to see her with my own eyes. You're quite a dreamer when something's on your mind. Well, even I was a little girl at one point. You two sound like you're having a lot of fun. We looked up at the same time. Alicia was standing there, holding a silver tray. Would you like to take a short break and have some tea? Oh yeah, give me that tea. It felt like we had been taking a break the whole time, but I kept that to myself and decided to take her up on her offer. Hell yeah, double break. I was sadly ignorant and could not discern the blend of tea, but with a single sip I could tell that her black tea was delicious. Ah, the tea you make is as wonderful as always. It always melts straight to your core. How kind of you. I silently sipped my tea as I listened to the conversation between the two girls. Surprisingly enough, it appeared Alicia was quite capable as a maid, not just in form, but function as well. If you are pleased with this tea, I can make it for you any time. Consider it an on-the-job service call. It must be the fault of my unrefined military upbringing, but hearing the words on-the-job service call from a maid's mouth felt obscene. I'm so glad I got assigned to this unit. You seemed kind of displeased just sitting there earlier, so how about now? The tea is delicious, but it doesn't detract from the boredom. Oh? Did you join the military to stave off boredom? Something like that. By the way, you two seem to have been talking about Sion earlier. You're not allowed to do that either. Alicia certainly did things her own way. Who wouldn't be curious in this situation? We're so close, it feels like she might be able to hear us. Sion is currently working, so she would not so much as hear a gunshot right now. Her ability to concentrate is extraordinary. That's dangerous. What she said startled me. Even if she had an impregnable guard, she still needed to be able to rely on herself. It would be problematic for her guards as well if she were so unaware of the world around her. It is dangerous, but it is not a habit you could fix by saying something. She is completely reliant on all of her guards. Understood. So you two know of her, right? There's no way I couldn't, though it's not like I know the details. Same here. We know she's a genius scientist, the developer of the colony ships, humanity's guide to the stars, and that she has a higher approval rating than the current Diet chairman. These sorts of things. Oh, and that she's a Felix. Yes, that's right. Sion is a most excellent Felix. What the hell is a Felix? Isn't that some sort of cat? Or rather, she is the most intelligent being on this world. I don't think Felix is a cat. A Felix, huh? A new breed of human with high intelligence and a body of perpetual youth and longevity by the way of genetic modification. Holy crap. So she's like a superhuman. She ages very slow, so her body lasts very long because of genetic modification, and she always looks young, and she's just really smart. That's basically just the only thing I did was just reword that current sentence. We were practically Neanderthals by comparison. It would be no exaggeration to say they were miraculous beings. Okay, what if she was like from the future and she just time traveled all the way back to this day and age where she is now, and just passes herself off as like, yeah, I'm like a superhuman, there's only one kind of me here, just to be special. Whereas in her present, so for them the future, everybody are like Felixes. You two know about Felixes, don't you? There's nobody that doesn't know about them. I only know what was officially announced though. By the way, the term Felix was coined by the sci-fi author Mr. Heinlein. It was taken from a character in a novel themed around genetic manipulation. He was a sci-fi novel enthusiast that created Felixes. Wow, I didn't know that. It never occurred to me to look it up. It's because their uniqueness is more intriguing than their origins. It was the Felixes who created the third generation of colony ships that took the Earth evacuation plan into the execution phase. It seemed that these artificially created geniuses greatly accelerated scientific and technological development with their superior abilities. And standing at the top of the Felixes was the one who led the evacuation project, Sion. She was a young woman whose appearance took beauty to an extreme. Her grace and elegance stood far above that of anyone else. Even amongst Felixes, her intellect stood out. She brought about many of the innovations used in the development of the colony ships and played a crucial role in the successful launch of the first of many vessels. The girl had become a living legend. Her name would be carved deep into the annals of history. There are those who would call her a messiah, or even the goddess of salvation who swooped down to this dying planet. And now, she was in the room right next to us. Sion was a being known by all humanity, while simultaneously a character with far too many mysteries about her. Well, I'm almost starting to think that my crazy theory from before might actually be true or something. Because they kind of make it seem like she appeared out of nowhere and then bam, she's like, all of a sudden she's seen as the savior, the god of the world. I don't even know how to exactly call it, but it could be possible that I'm right. You never know. I may be crazy sometimes, but that crazy has like an ounce of truth to it every now and then. As she had never shown herself in public, there were people who doubted her very existence. Or she's just like a computer, you know, like what's the computer thingy of Apple, Siri or something? Or if she's just like Siri. I had personally thought of Sion on the same level as a goddess or hero out of a fairy tale. The fact that I was now living under the same roof as her, I couldn't believe it. There seemed to be many whom revere her like a savior, but Alicia giggled. To me, she is just an ordinary girl, and a sleepyhead at that. Sleepyhead? Levi went stiff, and her mouth agape in contrast to Alicia's unfettered smile. Miss Alicia, you have an amazing way with words. I have known her since she was little. It is the privilege of someone who has been with her a long time. Since she was little? Sion, a Felix with perpetual youth and longevity. The girl I had seen numerous times in pictures was indeed quite young. However, she should have been many times older than me. Yes, since long ago. Wait, Alicia is a Felix too. After all, I am a Felix as well. Oh, I told you. She said with a smile, as if it were nothing. Holy crap. So yeah, we learned a lot about the Sion. So in the very beginning in like the very first video, you're actually together with Sion, so a lot still happens between now and when that actually takes place. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. You guys please let me know once again which one you prefer, just me reading it without the voices or with the voices. So yeah, please leave some comments behind on that, which you prefer, and I'm gonna end things here. So want to thank you all so very much once again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace!